Hello. As you remember, last session we talked about going from one page to another page. Actually, we created a button that by pressing it, we went to page 2, and by pressing back, we could return to the previous page, which was my launcher. As you see, this is my launcher page, and when I click on the button, go to page 2, it navigates me to page 2. Look. When we press back, it returns to my launcher. Now, we want to change the app in a way that it does not return to my launcher. It means that it should close my launcher before going to page 2. And in this case, when we press back button, it will not return to my launcher and it will close the application. To this end, instead of selecting a navigator of context, we should write another command. We write navigator dot push and remove until. Push. So we say navigator dot push and remove until. It makes the app to push to the next page and close the previous page. So navigator dot push and remove until. Now we have to set a context, a new root, and a predicate. So, we should set them for the application. The first context that we are providing it is actually the context we have here. It is the context of my launcher. New root is the material page root, just like the previous navigator. Here, I can use the previous code as comment. So, in order to make it as comment, just you know that you want to make a part of the code as comment. First, you should select the code, and then you push Ctrl and a slash on your keyboard. Ctrl and a slash on your keyboard. After changing them to comment, you enter the code. Navigator dot push and remove until. Context is actually the context of my launcher, and new root is the material page root. Material page root. And we select a builder for this material page root. A builder is chosen, and we ask the builder to take us to page 2. Well, just like the one we have below, we order the builder to take us to page 2. So the builder is taking us to page 2. Well, what is predicate? Inside the predicate, we say the app that when it goes to page 2, close the first page before that, actually, which is my launcher. In order to ask it to close my launcher, I have to put a wait first semicolon here to close it. To this end, we should define a root for it. Actually, it is a dynamic root, yes? So you see that we are defining a dynamic root for it. You will understand what I want to say after creating a dynamic root. So a dynamic root is defined for it, and it is called root. Yes, we name it root. and you make the dynamic route as false. By this code, you asked it to make the root of the page as false. And it means that when you go to page 2, close the previous page and remove it. Don't return to the previous page. So we are asking it actually to remove the previous page completely. Now, we do a restart to see if it returns the previous page or it completely closes the app. Now we ask it to close the previous page, and because there is no previous page, all pages will be closed and it will exit the application. We have to wait a few moments. Well, now if I press go to page 2, it should take me to page 2. And when I press back button, it should close the application. So, as you see, it completely closes the application. So, last session, we talked about going to another page without closing the previous page. And in this session, we talked about going to page 2 by closing the previous page and actually closing the application. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this session too. Goodbye until next session.